are properly trained and educated, we can handle these situations with confidence and care. I do want to disclose I am not an educator or instructor for CPR with any organization. I am only here to give a brief overview of what the technique of CPR for an infant up to age 1 is. I also recommend that if anyone wants to be certified in CPR, that you would take a CPR class and get the proper certifications. CPR is available to anyone who is ready and willing to learn. The American Heart Association is the #1 provider for education and CPR classes. They have classes that are available online and in person. They do cost, but they're very inexpensive. Another organization that provides CPR training and education is the Salt River Ambulance District in Shelbyville, Missouri. They offer CPR certification here locally from time to time. Today, Chad and I will be demonstrating what CPR on an infant up to age 1 looks like. CPR for an infant, if you find an infant that is not breathing and does not have a pulse, you would use a compression ratio to breaths of 30 compressions to 2 breaths. If you are with another person and both of you are able to administer CPR to the infant, you would then reduce your compressions to 15 compressions per 2 breaths. To start out with, we will have Chad. Chad is going to walk into the situation where this infant here is unconscious, without a pulse, and he did not witness the events that led up to this. So Chad will walk into the room by himself. He will, #1, make sure that the scene is safe. He does not want to put himself or the child in any more danger. Once the scene is safe, he will tap the child on the foot or the shoulder and say, baby, are you okay?
Wake up, baby. Are you okay?
If the baby does not respond, Chad then checks for a pulse in the brachial artery, which will be on the inside of the upper arm, just above the bend of the elbow. While he is doing that, he will also look at the chest for rise to see if the child is breathing. He'll want to check this for at least 10 seconds, but no longer than 30. So no pulse and no breathing, then Chad by himself is going to start CPR at 30 compressions to 2 breaths. His compressions are going to be located just under the nipple line of the child, midway there on the chest. And he will start with 2 to 3 fingers, and he will do 30 compressions about 1 inch deep. I do recommend that you count out loud as you
13,
do this.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
All right, now when administering 2 breaths, he will tilt the infant's head up slightly, making note not to overextend the head. He will seal his mouth around the nose and the lips of the infant and administer 2 breaths, looking for the chest to rise. Once you see the chest rise, you can be done with your breath. You do not want to overinflate the lungs and cause more injury. And he would continue this pattern of 30 compressions to 2 breaths for 2 minutes before calling 911. Which is usually about 5 to 6 rounds of compression and breaths. At 2 minutes then, he would notify 911 and emergency personnel, and then with their instruction, he would come back doing compressions and breaths until emergency medical services arrive and take over. Now, in the event that Chad and I both walk into the room and we find the child unconscious, without a pulse, without breathing, we would then decrease our repetitions to 15 compressions to 2 breaths. With that said, one of us would then go notify 911 immediately. So we walk in, we make sure it's safe, we address the baby. Baby, are you okay?
Wake up, baby.
Baby is not okay. okay, baby does not have breaths, he does not have a pulse, Chad would then look at me and say, you contact 911.
Call 911.
I call 911, and Chad begins compressions and breaths.
1, 2, 3,
I
4,
then come
5,
in.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
All right, now you go to breaths, and I come in with compressions, and I can use the cradle method, where I cradle the abdomen with both hands, placing 2 thumbs just below the nipple line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We would repeat this sequence until medical services arise. In the event that the child would regain consciousness, have a spontaneous pulse, or have spontaneous breathing, you would discontinue CPR. You would put them in a left side lying position until medical services arrive. The other part of CPR that we will address today for an infant under the age of 1 is in the event of choking. So Chad, I will have you sit on the edge of the stage. When a child is choking, they are unable to cry, scream, or breathe. In the event of that, Chad will take the baby. The baby will then be placed, you'll have cup their chin with your hand, with the abdomen along your forearm, head tilted down. You do this so that gravity will help. You can tilt the head down a little bit. Your whole arm. Just bring your arm down. There you go. And you will administer 5 heel thrusts to the back of the child with force. This is not a time to be gentle. This is a time to forcibly beat the back of the child in an effort to dislodge the foreign object. Go ahead and do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now using this hand, you will support the neck, turn the child over, still with the head in a down position. We will go back to just under the nipple line with 2 fingers, and we will do 5 chest thrusts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And at this point, we will open the mouth of the child and look for the debris. If the debris is visible, we will just simply get the debris out of the mouth, check the child for breathing, and everything should be fine. In the event that the child does not dislodge the foreign object, you would continue the back thrusts and the chest compressions at 5 and 5 until the child becomes unconscious. Once the child becomes unconscious, you would then move to a 30 chest compressions, check for the foreign object, and repeat, call 911 if you haven't already done so. Thank you, Chad. And so today we were able to see a demonstration of CPR on an infant up to age 1. I've also handed out some brochures for you guys from the the handouts are from the American National Red Cross website. They have a booklet that you can download and print for free. It is called Babysitting. It's CPR first aid for the babysitter. They cover everything from CPR to choking to burns to poison, asthma attacks, and what to do in those situations. CPR is a skill that is available for everyone to learn and to be certified. There are many different organizations, again, that do offer CPR certification, and employers sometimes also will pay for you to be CPR certified, since it is a benefit to them in the event of an emergency. Children are notorious for putting things in their mouth, and that is one of the greatest choking hazards that they have. Small children have trouble chewing and processing food, which can lead to choking. And then there's also the risk of sudden infant death syndrome that can cause cardiac arrest in infants with no explanation. With all of these hazards and risks, it is important for anyone who is around children like these to be familiar or certified with CPR. Thank you.
I appreciate